stop play at Waitra's round 1 of the Altherm Window Systems New Zealand Championship, it meant round 2 at Mary Sprint Bowl was effectively the beginning of the 2017 title chase. It was a perfect start for reigning mouth-fresh Superboat champion Peter Cowie and new navigator Louise Blythe, picking up the checkered flag, the maximum 30 points, and the perfect start to his 2017 campaign. Have a look at the points. It is Peter Cowie on top, 10 times the national champion and getting his season off to the perfect start. Mount Taranaki fills the backdrop for round 3's Mouthfresh Superboat round at the Methanix Aqua Track in Waitra. Promoter and racer Leighton Manel had pulled out all the stops to keep the big crowd entertained, including a top field of the unlimited superboats. Blake Bright and Kate Hoogerbrake are looking to go one better than Mary's second place. The rotation had been extended with 2 main islands at the top of the course. Liking that, Richard Burt and the return of the much-loved, host family-owned Rotorboat. Also declaring his liking to the course, the championship points leader, Peter Cowie. Cowie's NZ Trojan Total Oil Superboat would see double duty. Also driving it, 3-time Group A champion, Sam Udick.
Standard issue parts delivery didn't arrive on time. And yeah, you can almost bet your left nut they'll be there on Monday morning, as always, but you know, they didn't arrive on time. We waited till the last minute. Thought about plan B of using old parts or sort of scrounging together something to get us running, and 1 or 2 days time frame didn't really work for the reconditioners or anything like that. Pete was kind enough to offer us a drive, so why would you pass up this?
Peter Cowie, what an amazing sportsman you are, lending your boat there to Sam Udick.
Oh, it doesn't happen very often, it's fair to say, but I mean, racing at this level with superboats, they're yeah, it's like taking a thoroughbred to an endurance event, a thoroughbred horse to an endurance event. So yeah, Sam's a good young guy, and you know, bought a new boat off us last year, and the Udick team, there's a second boat now they've had in 12 months from us, and with Ollie in the Group A. And
different setup of the way Pete has his boat, steering position, pedal position, all that sort of stuff is a little bit different to mine. But you know, like we talked about earlier, if I'm worrying about where the steering wheel is or the foot pedal is, you know, that should be the least of my worries. So we're not doing it right if that's the case. The boys are predicting a 1-2 finish, and I thought there's not too much pressure, Pete. But how are we going to sit if it does happen to be like that? Who gets the 1 and who gets the 2?
1-2 sounds good to me, yeah, it just seems to run off the tongue, but look, honestly, there's a lot of racing to happen. It's very early in the event. You know, when the competition's really tight and there's a high calibre of equipment being raced, then, you know, I think you do just get that little bit more reward from it.
Back to prove a point after a not so satisfying 5th place at Mary, Glenn Head.
On a track like this, we're trying to keep the engine right up in the power band all the time. We don't have the opportunity to use the peak power that we might see at Mary. So it's all about keeping the whole engine rolling and spooled up the whole time. And same thing with the jet unit, so we try and achieve a little bit higher RPM. At the moment we're still playing around with boat setup and stuff, and hey, we've got 2 corners that we're trying to focus on. So one of them being the hairpin, so if we can pull some time out of those 2 corners, then I think we'll be right up there.
At Waitra, it looked like the mechanical issues that plagued them in 2016 were back.
Yeah, we do have a little bit of an issue just with some smoke from some seals and turbochargers on the boat, but from what we can see in the data, there's no issues with anything else on the engine, so we just need to do as good as we can today, and hopefully we can pull position 1, and yeah, that'll lead us into the championship with the best result we can.
Second behind Mr. Superboat Peter Cowie was a great championship debut for Blake Bryant and navigator Kate Hoogerbrake, Bars Bugs Harvest Transport.
It's a good rotation. I think there's a bit of everything. There's a little bit of rough water out there to contend with, some good open sweeping stuff, as well as that, you know, really tight hairpin. So it's got the measure of everything, and it's going to be testament who takes it out at the end of the day. It's a good driver's track. I think we've still got a long way to go, and we're building confidence all the time. It's difficult when you're developing. It's unsettling. You're always making changes. It's really neat when you can just settle on something and you're only you know, if you're adjusting something and it's in a very minor manner, we haven't arrived at that point yet. I'm going to leave the boat alone. I'd say we might just make one last little adjustment and then we'll just drive it from here on. And it'll be the same sort of strategy as Mary Mary. We'll just progress through and see what we can do at the end of the day.
Aquatrack saw the return of past two-time New Zealand Superboat champion Richard Bird and the now Brent Curran-tuned Rotorboat. Is it really about testing and teething problems?
Yeah, because it's a different combination, obviously. It's only a little 2.6 litre with a whopping big turbo on it. So it's completely different. It's pretty cool. Power delivery's amazing. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's unique. I enjoy the shed side of the things, that development side and keeping up with different ideas, and we've obviously had a few problems with this as we've gone along and had to do a lot of development work. We found that the boats were twisting that much, it was breaking the engine. We had to get our heads around that one, so Brent's known for building a strong alcohol quad rotor, so he's come on board. Yeah, it's only new beginnings really. The power that it delivers is amazing. Once we get up onto that boost and that sort of two-stroke effect of the rotary engine, it's got such a broad power curve. It's really fun to drive.
Here was a sight to gladden every promoter's heart. By mid-morning, the corporate hospitality was full, the barbecues were blazing, and the action on the track was hotting up. Still plenty of traps for the unwary. Kevin Roberts found the grass early. Not immune, current world champion Glenn Head in Altherm window system, gone in the top 12. Then I keep coming over here and ask you this one question. What happened?
Yeah, it's not a very good question to ask, is it? Just a bit of a setup error, Phil, and just pulled me right into that corner, and yeah, a bit unfortunate really. Late stage of the day, it was the wrong time to be playing around with that.
It wasn't the various traps around the rotation, but mechanical woes that stopped Graham Hill in liquid gold, his Nissan twin-turbo engine providing its own visibility hazard.
Obviously an oil problem out the breathers of some description. We just haven't quite got our design right yet. I think the faster we go, the bigger the mess. So I think that's probably the problem. So it seems to be a design issue more than anything. The engine's actually fine, but unfortunately you can't go around the course when you can hardly see.
Welcome back to Waitara for round 3 of the Altherm Window Systems New Zealand Jet Sprinting Championships in the Mouthfresh Superboats. We are into the top 8. And first to go, because the boat is being double driven, will be the unusual sight of seeing Peter Cowie and Louise Blythe first out. The boat is obviously a Sprint-Tech G-Force powered by a 575 cubic inch track sport engine, and this combination has been very, very quick. Top 13 time was a 41.798. We'll cut them from 13 down to 8, and then there'll just be 5. No 3-boat final this time around. Have a look for the split time. It needs to be in the low 20s, I would think, for Peter Cowie. 22.374. He'll be pretty happy with that. Louise Blythe sat in the navigator's seat, and it looks like she's never been away. The combination gelling very, very quickly indeed. Have a look at the way the boat sits flat on the water. He's got it trimmed just perfectly. You're riding on board here with a 10-time national champion. Peter Cowie, NZ Trojan Total Oils is the boat, and it is a masterpiece, and that's another fast time, 41.727. He lays down the gauntlet. Next to go, this is Scott Donald from Featherston and Nicole Reesby. It's an older Sprint Tech, this one, powered by a 500 cubic inch Dart fuel-injected V8 engine. Best result was in the top 8. In fact, they were 7th at Mary Mary in round number 2. So far so good for the combination from Featherston. Top 13 time was a 44.406. So I don't think he's going to approach the 22.374 split that we saw from Cowie. But at the moment, he's in the mix, up over his own weight. The boat just gets a little bit unsettled. You're right on board here. 23.284 at the split for Scott Donald. Once again, if you listen to the exhaust note, it hardly ever changes when they come out of these tight corners. Remember, when the motor stops, there's no braking, there's no steering. Sounds a bit silly to say that on the water, but that's exactly what happens. Heading down towards the finish line now, looking to go better than the 44.406. He does so, 43.736 for Scott Donald and Nicole Reesby. This is Blake Bryant and Kate Hoogerbrug. The boat is Mars Bugs Harvest Transport. It runs a GM Motorsport LS 512 cubic inch 960 horsepower fuel injected motor provided by Fonzie Mullen, multiple Australian superboat champion. You're riding on board here with Group A standout Blake Bryant, Kate Hoogerbrug doing the navigational duties. Top 13 time was a 43.177. Looking for a split around about the 21-22 second mark, I would think. You ride with them as they work their way down the back end of the course now. 22.161 for Blake and Kate. Really having a great debut in Superboats. Finished second at round 1 at Merry. What can they do here at Waitara? It's round 3 of the Altherm Window Systems Championship. They work their way down towards the finish line now. 22.161 at the split. Have they picked up a little bit of time? You ride with them getting up to terminal velocity at the top end of the course. This is where it's been extended. 42.004. Nick Berryman next to go. Claire Roberts doing the navigational duty. Normally see Claire with her dad Kevin in the Stinger Boats Nissan-powered machine. This time she's with Nick Berryman, the tourist operator from Rotorua. This is a 410 Whipple supercharged Chevy in the Stinger. Another one that's been consistent and consistently fast. Nick Berryman coming off a great performance at Merry. This top 13 time was a 42.885. That was his fastest run of the day so far. 22.564 at the split. That's fractionally up on the top 13 time. So let's see what he can do as you ride with him here up to the top end of the course. Remember, Leighton Manel put on an extra couple of islands since we were here last year. So he's extended it, opened it out just a little bit. The River Jet boat working its way down towards the finish line now. 42.909 for Nick Berryman. 42.909. Remember, no Rob Coley, no Glenn Head, no Graham Hill. They've all gone out early. This is Aaron Henson and Julianne Shanks, the couple from Tauranga. Rusty One is the boat. It's a Stinger hull. Dual Tech Consultants and Mainstream Engineering are the sponsors. Another one that made the top 8 at Merry. Effectively the start of our championship after we got rained out here in round number 1. A surprising third at the 2016 Worlds. 42.850 was their top 13 time. This is the 8. From here we'll cut them to 5. There won't be a top 3 final. 22.941 at the split for Aaron Hansen. Rusty One is the boat. You're riding on board with him here. Just look at the relaxed manner on the steering wheel of Aaron Hansen. Julianne Shanks doing a great job as his navigator. Relatively new to the sport, heading round towards the finish line now. 43.703, so they lost a little bit in the second half of the course. Did Aaron Hansen. Well, this is the boat that a lot of people have been waiting to see. This is Richard Bird. Haley Host sits alongside in the navigator's seat. This is the boat owned by Peter and Gary Host. It's powered by a quad rotor Mazda engine. Got a humongous turbocharger on it. Now, Richard said that it didn't run huge horsepower, around about 860 horsepower. You're riding with him here. Said it's taken him a little while to get the hang of it. He's a 2-time New Zealand Superboat champion. But this one's been a pretty steep learning curve for him and the team. Brent Curran from Curran Brothers Racing has come on board to tune the boat. 23.145 at the split. Top 13 time. The best was a 42.038. The sound of this boat has got to be heard to be believed. It sounds absolutely wonderful. It sounds like it's turning around about 20,000 revs. It's not, but it is fair screaming. Down to the finish line they come now, and a 43.375. So they're another combination that lost a bit of time in the second half.
Getting more confidence with the package. Yeah, it's been an interesting little day. We're still just trying to get the hull right, and Brent's just still playing with the engine, and I don't know, we're just sitting out there cruising.
This is Baden Gray and Kendra Death, and he's got it absolutely wrong from the get-go, and that is going to mean that this run is going to mean nothing. That's going to be a DNF for Baden Gray in the Team Tools Superboat. It's got a 434 twin-turbo Chevy in it. Back on board here in the NZ Trojan Total Oils boat, but it's not Peter Cowie and Louise Blythe, it's Sam Udick and Glenn Mason. Peter Cowie, being the sportsman that he is, has lent Sam the boat, and Sam has been doing some pretty amazing stuff in it. He has been fast. He has been knocking on the doors of the times set by the boat's owner, and that is Peter Cowie. His top 13 time was a 42.566. 22.1 23.145 at the split. So this is going to transfer into quite a run here. Peter Cowie joked to me, he said we'd like the team to finish 1-2, but he was disputing which order it would be. Will it be Cowie? Will it be Sam Udick? Udick has got in this boat and really taken to it, and that is a startling time, 41.891, so the gauntlet is thrown down between the teammates. So Peter Cowie stays on top, fractionally from Sam Udick and Peter Cowie's boat, and then it's Blake Bryant, and behind him it's Nick Berryman and Richard Burt in the rotor boat. So we have found the final, a top 5 final here at Waitara for round number 3 of the Altherm Window Systems New Zealand Championship. First to go, remember the boat is being double driven, Peter Cowie and Louise Blythe. Louise Blythe slipped into the navigator's seat at the last moment with the surprise retirement from Shamara Puturanui, but Louise has been there and done that before for both Leighton Manel and Paul Gaston. In fact, navigated Gaston to second in Group A a couple of seasons ago. Let's see what he can do this time round. Peter Cowie will know that he needs to respond. 21.664 at the split for Cowie. So are we looking at another 41-second run there? They just got a little bit untidy, and that's history in itself because Peter Cowie doesn't make too many mistakes. I know when he tipped it over a couple of years ago, it was the first time in 16 years that the boat had been upside down. Let's see what the time's going to be. It's going to be a 41.558 for Cowie. Well, that has lain the gauntlet down. Next to go, this is Richard Burt and Hayley House. Best time for them is in the 43s. Let's see what they can do this time. They spool up the big turbo on Mad As. This Brent current tune quad rotor Mazda, rumored to be putting out around 860 to 900 horsepower. And just listen to that exhaust note. 21.664 for Richard Burt. Oh, and he's just got it wrong at the hairpin, and that's going to cost him, and maybe that's going to cost him a podium position. It's that tight in the Mouthfresh Superboats. And a little bit untidy as he runs up over his own wake as well, so it's all gone drastically wrong toward the end here for Richard Burt and Hayley Host, down towards the finish line now, and it is a 43.642. Not what they were looking for, I am sure. This is Nick Berryman and Claire Roberts. Nick, as I said, the tourist operator from Rotorua. Claire Roberts, the office manager from Stinger Boats, the company owned by her dad, Kevin. We saw Kevin go out early. Nick, again, having a storming run here. I think he finished 3rd in the first round at Mary Mary, or should I say the second round at Mary Mary. He's got his championship campaign well on track. 22.457 at the split for Nick and Claire. You're riding with him here. A little bit of water coming in over the boat. That's normally a bad sign. The boat looks pretty good from the outside shot. Up toward the top end of the course. Now rocketing back towards the big crowd here at Waitara. The Methanex Aquatrack down towards the finish line now for Nick and Claire. Looking to go under the 43-second mark. They do. 42.834. Currently sit in a points-paying position, a podium position, with Blake Bryant and Kate Hugerbrink to go next. Buzzbugs Harvest Transport is the boat. I mentioned before, Fonzie Mullen has supplied the engine. Kate looks pretty relaxed there in the navigator's chair as she guides her driver around the circuit. It doesn't take long to get to the top of the track here at Waitara. It's always been compact. It's opened out a little bit from what we saw last year. Once again, watch for the split time. It'll give you an idea. Fastest time so far is the 41.727 of Peter Cowie. He went first. Still to come, Sam Udick. 22.617 for Blake and Kate. Nice through the hairpin. That's the money corner here at Waitara. You're back on board with them here as they head back to the top of the course. Stay right off the tyre wall. Nice and smooth through this closing radius turn. This big sweeper at the top end of the track. Now they fly back down towards the boat ramp. This is going to be another good time for Blake and Kate. I think it's going to be a 42. It is 42.626 for the pairing from Gisborne.
41.5.
So last boat on the water. This is Sam Udick and Glenn Mason. Glenn Mason, the vastly experienced navigator in Group A. navigated Rex Bryant to 1 championship, has navigated Sam Udick to 3. Now they're in a different situation here in a borrowed boat. Peter Cowie has lent Sam Udick his treasure, which is the NZ Trojan Total Oils package that you see here. You're riding with Sam Udick and Glenn Mason. 21.874 at the split, so not quite as fast as Peter Cowie. Now he's really going to have to drive it home if he wants to embarrass the 10-time national champion, the multiple world champion. Is Sam Udick going to rain on the parade here at Waitra? Well, it won't be a rain because it's still going to be a win for this amazing boat. No matter who gets there. Will it be Cowie? Will it be Udick? It'll be Udick. 41.278. He rocketed through the finish line in the fastest time of the day, and Sam Udick has turned the tables on the 10-time national champion, Peter Cowie. Brilliant performance for the man that was absolutely not familiar with this boat.
Sam did it in style, and at the start of the day I said to him, we play the cards right, mate, we might be 1-2, you know, so let's just keep our head down, and I think all the effort's been worth it, and look at the smiles on those faces, eh?
Well, Sam Udick stumps the critics and wins here at Waitra in a borrowed boat and gets his championship campaign back on track.
Unbelievable day. Yeah, big ups to Glenn and Pete and Louise and Karen and Jeremy and Ross and everyone at Team Sprint Tech, NZ Total. You know, we wouldn't be here without them, so it's, you know, we pretty much just, I just can't believe it, first W in Superboats. Awesome.
So just to confirm it, it is Sam Udick in Peter Cowie's boat that wins round number 3 of the Altherm Window Systems Jet Sprint Championships in the Mouth Fresh Superboats. In second place it is Peter Cowie and Louise Blythe, and in third Blake Bryant and Kate Hugebroek. We have a look at the overall situation. Peter Cowie and Louise Blythe still on top, Blake Bryant and Katie Hugebroek in second, Nick Berryman is third. Well, we're past the halfway stage of the National Championship Series and we head now to Hastings, probably the most picturesque course we travel to, if not the best jet sprinting course in the world. It's round 4 of the Altherm Window Systems New Zealand Jet Sprinting Championships. Hope to see you there.